Danielle and welcome back to my messy desk. Today I am going to do another pocket letter tutorial, only this time I am going to use Dollar Tree gift cards instead of cardstock, stock paper, or themed scrapbook paper. I got this idea while shopping around Dollar Tree one day looking for Dollar Tree finds and saw these just adorable cards and thought, you know, I would really like to find a way that I can incorporate those into a craft. So I brought some home and it was really easy. It was kind of hard because of the measurements, but it ended up being really easy. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now, usually gift cards or greeting cards do not measure perfectly to cut in fourth to fit inside of the pocket letter slides themselves. And remember, these are 3.5 by 2.5. But in conjunction with the envelopes, you can cut the pieces out and they will fit on with a border. And we're going to do that to show you in just a second. Now, the card that really caught my attention that made me go, I've got to do this, was for the center. I mean, a lot of people put shaker pockets in there, or at least the focal point is in the middle. So with that in mind, I saw this adorable greeting card and was like, I've got to do this for the center of this pocket letter. Is he not just adorable? So he is actually going to be, I'm giggling because he's just, you know, he makes me smile. He is going to be the centerpiece for our pocket letter. Now what I did was I bought 2 of them so that I could use dimension foam to put some height in there so that he really kind of pops out there. So we're going to use him for the center, and then we're going to use these greeting cards for the Halloween version. I also have the cards to make Thanksgiving as well. But we're going to use these 3 cards as well as this card to do our little pocket letter. Now, the first thing you're going to do is, if you had to cut him out, which for the Thanksgiving card, I had to cut out the centerpiece, and I'll show you that here shortly. You still have to cut the back part or the greeting part of the card off. So you're still going to get your paper trimmer out. And you could possibly even bend this back and forth and rip it, but I wouldn't recommend that. You want to have clean edges whenever you do these. You want your partner to see clean edges. There we go. All right, so we are going to, the first thing we're going to do though is make our centerpiece. That is the hardest part. You can keep this in your scrap paper because there's always usually a cute little salutation in there you can use for another craft at another time. Now, like I said, we are going to make him dimensional, so I'm going to use some of my little dimension squares that I got in the dollar spot at Michael's, Miss Sparkling Company. Maybe this was at Target. Either way, they're everywhere. You can find them at Michael's, Target, AC Moore, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, you know, the usual suspects. So you're going to come in and you're going to use your little dimensionals here and pop them around. And this literally just, I think it just makes them look just adorable. Popping up like that. Oops, some come from the other side. Fix this. Fix this in post-production. If it'll let me. There we go. Oh, I'm going to pull off all the little ones. I can see that now. We'll come over here and get a couple more. Get a couple here in the center, and then one up here on the stem. I'll put this guy back there. We'll use some more of these with the Thanksgiving one. Okay, now go through and peel off the backs. Now, if you had to cut him out of a card, you would be fussy cutting him out, which I did this for a September pocket letter that I sent to my partner, and I fussy cut a, it was a sunflower. That was fun. Actually, it was a lot of fun, to be quite honest. All right, now you're gonna come in and line them up. And voila, we have our little dimensional pumpkin centerpiece. Now, I try to put these guys in a way that my partner, if she wants, can reuse it for something else. So I take the envelope, and this is a really cool thing. You're gonna want to seal this. So, at least they don't have nasty flavor anymore like they used to back in the day. And seal it up. This way you have your solid piece to work with. Now you're gonna cut this guy because you want it to be able to fit in your pocket. You want to have it at least 2.5 inches at the base. So measure 2.5 inches at the base here. And I put mine in lengthwise like this so that I can get more out of it. I actually get 4 out of this for the pockets as well. So I take this out and I stick it in here. Actually, I turn it around so that the plain side is to the back, and then fold it over. And if you fold it over just right, it will not bend into the pocket itself. It'll sit there like that. And then we're going to attach him to this so that he slides in and out. So 2.5 inches across the base. Keep that in mind. Let's see. I'm gonna line this back up and make sure it's good. And I left my bone folder upstairs. Oh no, that's all right. I don't need that. I'm gonna come in with my double-sided tape, and I am going to run some tape here so that he sticks. Stick this back in there so that I can eyeball it in the center, because I want him pretty much centered. That's about center right there. And boom. Take it back out. Rub it in really good. Make sure it's stuck. And if you had your bone folder with you, you would use that. At least I would. And there you go. So you have your centerpiece ready to go. Now we're going to move on to all the little corners. So I'm going to set him to the side. But isn't he so cute? Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take another envelope and seal it. Ugh. Yummy. Wonder how many calories are in that. Ugh. And you're going to cut 4 corners. Again, you're going to cut width-wise for the base is 2.5 inches. And length is 3.5. Now turn this around so that the sealed edge, the solid edge, is facing out. If you don't, then it's just going to be a flap. Measure it to 3.5 and cut off the little excess that's there. Go and do it again. 3.5 inches. And remember, these are going to be the background pieces for your pocket letter. There we go. So, I've already cut out 4 earlier. So now I have all 4. I'll come in. Oh, that's my Thanksgiving one. Come in here with this guy and I will put these in just to make sure that they all fit good. And it doesn't matter if you put corners to corners because they're all basically corners. I'm going to take this guy out for now, even though he's so cute. And the Dollar Tree cards are 2 for $1. So even if you take into account, you know, buying a 69-cent sheet of paper at, say, AC Moore, or 99-cent sheet, that is if they're not on sale, it comes out about the same. However, your embellishments are already going to be done with these. I'll show you that in just a second. So we have all 8, because this is just the 8, the 6, and then the 2 in the center, and then this is our 9th pocket. So there is the base for our pocket letter. Now we're going to cut out the cards to use to embellish these guys. So I'm going to set this to the side. We will be using that to measure where our cards are going to go, and pull in greeting cards. Now let's see, this guy is going to go, let's see, this one here is a hard one, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this one first. This is gonna have enough for 4 pockets on this one. Isn't that just a cute little kitty cat? Well, what I'm gonna do with this one is, first I'm gonna cut the back out and save it in case I ever need it, because I throw nothing away when it comes to craft stuff. Cut off the Halloween greeting, like just cut it out. Even save that, because you never know when you can use that. Now the rest of this, I'm going to cut. This measures 5 1/4. So I'm going to go 2 1/2 plus 1/2 of 1/4. There we go. And cut it out like that. So that is splitting it in half exactly. And so now we're going to have 2 pieces of the card like this. But these 2 pieces are going to get cut in half and then adhered to the background envelope pieces. So this little guy here is measuring at, let's see, 4, almost 4 1/4. So I'm going to get my ruler and turn this guy over. And here, let me set this down, because I'm going to do it with both these pieces. And I am going to measure it out to find the exact half mark here. So 2, 1, 2. So about right there. Okay, we're going to do the same here. Only I'm going to line these up to make it a little bit easier. And mark it about the same spot. It doesn't have to be exact, because again, we're just putting these on the backgrounds. Now, let me do this one first. So there we have those 2 pieces. Now I'm going to come up here and measure this. Okay, that's going to be absolutely perfect. Okay. Cut this down. Now, this little beauty, let's see. Yeah, this little guy is going to go in the corner up here. So I am going to take these 2 out, and keep in mind, I'm probably going to cut these cards down too, just so that they fit symmetrically. Now, put my kitty cat there and the pumpkins there, and then they'll match up. So I'm going to cut these two doors off. Like that. And I will try to keep it straight. There we go. Do the same thing down here. This is all a matter of working what you have. Cutting it down and so forth will not hurt it at all. There, that's right. These are actually going to be my centers. So they're going to go like that. So then I pull in my double-sided tape again. And you can, these have these little flaps. You can just run some like this just so that they stay flat if you want. Because it can get on your nerves. No, I do that all the time. Okay. There we go. I'm going to take my kitty cat here. And kind of center him there. Take the pumpkins. And kind of center him here. There we go. And then do the same thing with these guys. And again, these are just in the middle. So they're just there for balance. Did I tape those down? Nope. I'm going to tape these down real quick. There we go. So this will go back in like so. And these will go in here like so. The next thing I have is this card. This card is going to be in these two corners. So I'm going to have like pumpkins down here and like hay up here. So again, I get my paper trimmer out. Save the back. And so this needs to measure 3.5 inches. And let's see what we get with 3.5 inches. So I think what I'm going to do, because it's okay to cut them down, I am going to cut off the trim. Like so. And then cut this in half. And this is going to measure at... So I'm going to want this to be 2 and a fraction. That's okay. And these will be on the corner pieces. Can you see a theme with these cards, with this pocket letter? Pumpkins. And then I ran out of double-sided tape, so I just grabbed another roll, which I try to keep an extra roll on or near my desk. And then I'm just centering these on the background. Now you might have noticed that I've gone into voiceover mode, and the reason is there was a lot of background noise on my original recording. This also gives me a chance to try out my new microphone. Yay! But you see now that I've used that card, the parts of that card, to fit into the two corners. And I'm going to keep the top part of the card to use in a different project. And now to cut up the last card. I'm going to use the little framed kitty cat there on the pumpkin. So we're going to cut the back off. And I'm going to try, unsuccessfully, spoiler alert, to fit the entire frame into the two pockets. However, it is too large, so I'm going to have to continue to cut it down till it fits. And I decided to keep that little salutation. It's really cute. And again, I'll use that in another project too. Keep all the scraps. Now I'm using the background square to judge the size that I need to cut this down in order to make it fit. Now I'm going to cut the kitty right down the middle. And remember to tape down your flaps. Now I'm going to tape these right down at the edge so that they are just like puzzle pieces. And I'm lining them up like this just to make sure that everything is perfectly even. Now I had a different vision for the pocket letter, and that worked out just cute, but I still have to adjust it just a little bit more because my smiley pumpkin overlaps the kitty's head a little bit. So this will take a little modification to fix. Now I do not feel that moving these down to make room for the centerpiece pumpkin is going to hurt the overall flow of the pocket letter. So what I do is I move them down and then I cut off the excess card. And here comes the blur, so I'm going to splice to the end where it's not blurry anymore. And here's the final pocket letter. My Happy Pumpkin Dollar Tree card pocket letter. Now we're going to move over to the Thanksgiving cards and show you what I used for that pocket letter. Now this one, the centerpiece was on the card instead of the entire card, which means you're going to have to fussy cut them out, which I did, which can be a chore, but you do both of them. Do the same thing with the dimensions like we did with the pumpkin to make him pop as the centerpiece. And I loved this card and the colors, the leaves on it. So I got two cards and decided to use those as the filler for this pocket letter with all the leaves. It's really cute. It's got gold foil. I don't know if you can really see it on the video. I don't think it does it justice. And then I love this little card with the little woodland creatures giving thanks, and then this cute little fox with his wheelbarrow of apples. Now this envelope is the color we're going to use for the background for the Thanksgiving one. And just like that, it's done. Now, like I showed you with the cards before, I wanted to use the burgundy card to do the two different corners to fill in with leaves. And then that allowed me to use the two parts from the other cards on the opposite corners. I kept the turkey in the center. I thought he was just so cute. And then put him on the little flap like I did the pumpkin in the Halloween one. And there's both of the finished products made with Dollar Tree greeting cards. And I will come in and use these rolls of bling from the Michaels dollar section to trim out both sides like so. And another thing you can do to add a little bit more is to use Stickles. You use the gold there to do the eyes, to fill in some of the areas in the eyes and the mouth. And then on the turkey, you can also use the gold for his beak and his feathers. And then the clear stickle as well to give it a little bit of dimension and glitz. I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial on how to make a pocket letter using Dollar Tree greeting cards. If you did enjoy this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the little bell beside the subscribe button to be notified when I post other tutorials and plan with me videos. So until next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye!